yesterday, today. I don't know if I'm emotionally drained, physically drained, all of the above, or where to start when I get home. Anyone? You should have seen me last night in the team event. I was like a zombie. I was like, forgive me if I don't know your name because I don't know mine. I get it, okay? But what we're gonna talk about right now will either make you or break you in this next window of massive opportunity. It's big, okay? So we're gonna talk about getting into massive action with everything that you've learned this weekend without going home confused, without going home overwhelmed, and to keep the energy up, okay?
Woo!
Okay. How many of you took notes this weekend?
Oh yeah.
Okay, good. Honestly, I was sitting there, I was like, what if people just came and like sat and listened? I'm so glad you took notes, but what I want you to do is I want you to use your notes. So I actually was with one of my mentors last week that I'm training with, and she said, here's the thing, Bree, people will take all these notes, but 99% of them won't go home and read them. And I thought, okay, it's not just me, good. I was like, okay, that's a normal thing, got it. So what I want to do is I want to give you a little bit of how to use those notes. A little bit of, okay, let's anchor in everything that you've learned here with clear intention. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go home and you're going to read over your notes, and maybe you do it over a 3-day period. You wrote them in a 3-day period, you go and read them in a 3-day period, okay? And you're gonna highlight and star the things that stick out again. So I actually had taught this before from stage, but what I said was, hey, while you're sitting here, go ahead and do it. I want you to star and highlight when you get home. Deal? Okay. And if you're gonna do it 3 days at a time, day one, you're gonna star and highlight the things that stood out to you. And then what you're gonna do with that is you're going to go train your team. Yes. Okay? Even if they were here. Because the reality is we all are gonna take something different away from each presentation, right? Okay? So I want you to do that at least 3 times. So that then, not only did you hear it and you write it, because by the way, that's anchor 1. So you heard it and you wrote it, good job. That makes me super proud that I saw so many hands. But step number 2, anchor 2 a little deeper, is to go back, reread, highlight, and star, and to really sink this stuff in. Then you're gonna go train your teams on everything you learned to do today, okay? Or this weekend, sorry, not just today. All right, so that's one thing. The next thing is, who came into convention with intention?
Yes.
Okay, all right? You came into convention with intention of what you wanted to get from it so that you could go home and do what?
Implement.
Be better, I hope, right? Like our announcer said, like I hope that you didn't come here to walk out of these doors to be the same.
Yeah.
You came here to grow. So what I want you to do, just the way you set intention here. If you noticed, okay, how many of you were in the Deb workshop?
Yes.
Okay, it's phenomenal, right? But what we learned this past week was so good. Not just setting the intention, but then seeking what you want to see. So what that means is we're gonna activate that RAS, that reticular activating system. That's the first time I've said it correctly. I was like the reticular activating system, okay? And what that is, in case you don't know, it's this thing in your brain, the amygdala. Okay? And it is something where, let's just say, you went and bought the red car on the lot. Get what I'm saying here, right? And it's because it's one you wanted so bad, and you got the red car, and then when you drive it off the lot, what happens? You see red cars everywhere. You're like, dang, I thought I got the cool one, the different one. No, but you start to see it because you've activated that RAS in your brain, and now, did the cars just start driving by because you bought it? No, they've always been there, but now you're starting to see it because it's what you're thinking about. So here's the reality. What if I told you that everything that you want in your business, you can have if you start to seek it? Because guess what? It's already there. You're just not looking
Woo!
close enough. Because, well, the kids have baseball and ballerinas and dance and I've got a job. And, well, I don't know. I've never done this before. And I don't have what it takes to recruit the people who are gonna get us to where we need to go. What you think about, you bring about.
Yep.
So do you think it would change not just your business, but your life if you started saying, I am intentionally seeking out the next Jade, Ruby, Diamond leader in my organization? Do you think that if intentionally every single day you were looking for that person, you might find them? Got to be intentional, okay? In TLA, or maybe it was last convention, they all kind of wrote together, but I talked about how you got to find your gap, okay? And so the thing about this is, we have a massive opportunity. You now know, holy cow, I haven't been focused on what I want. It's all around me. I just haven't been looking, okay? You have that aha moment turned on. But if you don't know what the heck you're looking for, it's also going to be really hard to find it, right? So here's what I want you to do. This I would do today. This is all out massive action. I know we're tired. I know. I know there's a lot of overwhelm. I know. I know you're going to go home and it's back to reality. I know. But if you are consciously deciding that when you get home, it is pedal to the metal, full throttle,
Let's go.
everything will change for you.
Yes.
Okay? So to find your gap, I want you to look at last month. Okay? Where did you close out your month? The volume. The lines of business where you need it, those types of things. What volume did you need to get to where you want to go? Just the next step. We're not talking quantum leaps. I want you to have the vision for the quantum leap, but I'm talking next step. We got to get into action quick. So what is that gap? Right? And then Sonara talked about it brilliantly. It's on me. So she said, I knew how many platinum packs I needed to go sponsor. Right? So you could do it that way. How many platinum packs? How many people do you need to help get to Jade? I tell my team all the time, if you're not helping people get to Jade, what are we doing? We're not growing. So who are you helping get to Jade? Who are your next Jades? And maybe they're in your organization, but maybe they're not. And you have to intentionally go and seek them. Okay? Jin Dao told me once, windows of opportunity open and they close. They open and they close. You're sitting in the biggest window of opportunity of your life right now. She talked about how her newest recruit is out there on fire, doesn't have the experience in the industry, doesn't really even know what she's doing. It's that ignorance on fire, right? Better than knowledge on ice. But she had a story from the products that just released not even 2 days ago. Okay? Hear me when I say this. These products just released. Our stories are just starting to roll in. Here's who's gonna win. The more people you get that kit in their hands and they go out on fire, sharing their results, will determine how high you go. So if you're not in massive action with energy, by the way, it all comes back to energy.
That's right.
If I'm like, yeah, so I was at this event, they said I could like change my life and like, get some money maybe and help people with their health with this kit, you should try it. You convinced?
No.
But if you're like, oh my God, listen, I know I sound crazy right now, like head on. Let's just go head on into it. I know I sound crazy. I'm very excited. I just got back from this event. These products just launched, and let me tell you what it's doing for people. And then start sharing stories. The key to this is going to go out and share stories, right? And then one piece that a lot of people miss, you guys, one piece to this is then ask for the sale. Ask about their problems, okay? Share how you can solve them, and then ask for the sale. People, it happens all the time. I've told this story before. I actually went into a Jeep dealership. I built out the grandest of Grand Wagoneers in the man's office, okay? And he's like, okay, this one, this option. He says, okay, great, anything else? I said, no, I think that's it. He printed the papers and never asked me if I wanted to order it.
Oh, wow.
I didn't need a Jeep, guys. If he would have said, do you want me to go ahead and put this on order? And it was pre-order at the time, in fact. And there was like it was a $500 deposit or something. If he would have simply asked, it would have been done. Mm-hmm. But I started saying, well, he didn't put on, I guess I don't really need it. No, I'll just keep, in my head, I'll just keep thinking about it, it's fine. And we walked out of the dealership with no car. Think of the opportunities you're missing by not just asking, hey, I just want to make sure we're on the same page. I know you were suffering from X. We talked about how the kit can do Y. Are you ready to start feeling better? Do you need me to help you with a link? Okay, make sure you're asking. A lot of you are missing that, and it's literally what's halting you in your business. The other thing is, when you leave here, you have all of this knowledge, but I want you to understand one thing. You are not expected to be the expert because you came to convention. You are not expected to have it all in line, and you're not expected to go out there and just start doing things that from one end to the spectrum to the other. It's a process, okay? You're gonna get 1% better every single day. So when the doubt comes, because it will, when the doubt comes, I want you to think about this moment right here. I'm not supposed to be perfect. Because here's the reality. If you ever think that you're perfect, it's over. If you are not always striving to be better, you'll never get there. Okay? So when that imposter syndrome or that doubt starts to come in, you're like, oh my gosh, I need to have it all in line. Like Minnie said, I've got to have all this done. You're not expected to be perfect, and I'm sorry, but you never will be. Okay? I was thinking of the buckets up here. Whenever Jen was talking, she had the 3 buckets. And she was talking about people start here and sometimes they'll jump into their own, to the second bucket by themselves. Social media is amazing. It's how I built my entire career, okay? Do I do in-homes? Yes, I have done in-homes, but 90% of my business is through social media. But let me tell you, if all I did was create content, sit back and wait to see who was engaged or who engaged me, I wouldn't be in this room today.
That's right. Say it again.
Yep.
Say it again.
So it made me think about my boys. We have a bucket much like the one that she had up here. Ours is filled with baseballs, and they'll come home and they'll grab a bat, they'll grab a bucket of balls, they'll come to Clay or I, and they'll be like, I want to go hit, right? And we're like, okay, let's go. So we go out to the yard, and we'll have the balls here, they're there, ready to practice hitting. We'll toss the balls, right? So Clay has a fun picture of me. I tried to bring out the pitching machine, and I put a helmet on. He thought it was a great photo op from inside the house. That was embarrassing, it's fine. But I was out there, these kids can hit. I was trying to save myself, right? So I was out there doing, so we'll toss the ball, and here's the thing, if you want to get a hit, you have to do what?
Keep right on the ball.
You gotta swing the dang bat. How many times I told my kid watching the third strike, you gotta swing the bat, right? They'll get in slumps. Popping them up, dinking them out, swinging and missing. But even my kids know, in order to get better, I gotta do what? I gotta practice. I gotta keep swinging the dang bat. And here's another thing. While we're out there in the yard tossing balls, they're swinging the bat, balls are flying everywhere, right? It's really rare that a ball flies into the bucket. Really rare. I mean, and if it did, we'd go, ah, like it would be a shocker, right? Like say, oh my God, that just happened. This is what Cohen noise is. Oh! Okay? It's really freaking rare, so if you're waiting for people to move to that bucket, you're gonna be waiting a long time. And you better be swinging that bat over and over and over again, right? So I want you to create the content. I want you to use the resources we have. But the number one thing that's gonna move this needle faster than it's ever moved before is your action.
Right. Woo!
You have to approach them. Do not wait for them to approach you. And here's the thing, if you feel, I have to message someone, what are you doing here? Did you not come into this business because one, you had vision for what it could create for you and your family's future? Two, like I saw earlier, most of us came in because we had a product experience. Mine was actually, I had one, but the biggest piece was with my dad, so I was actually helping someone. I think everyone in this room has already declared that they have a desire to help people, yes or yes?
Yes.
So we're afraid to go help them? Do you realize that it is an anomaly in the network marketing space to have a patented product that no one else can get their hands on? That was not exciting. Let's get real for a second. I've watched multiple speakers up here talk about who wants to be diamond. Listen, we can't make you want it. Most of the time the cheers have been super underwhelming. I was sitting in that seat and I thought, wow, they really don't want it. So are you just cheering to cheer? Did you just come to this event because you had time on your hands? It's time to get real.
Let's go.
With yourself. Why did you show up to this event? Why do you want what you want out of this business so bad? Because if it's not enough, if you're not so freaking excited to go to that next level, especially at diamond level, if you're not so excited to change your life and the life of others, you're in the wrong place. You're wasting your time. If you're not willing to face the fear of getting out there and contacting as many people as humanly possible as fast as you can when you walk out of these doors, don't expect to walk the stage.
Let's go.
Okay? We can hype up all day. But the wins come in the work, friends.
Yes.
That window of opportunity is so big right now. Okay? So when you go home, I want you to get so clear on your intention. The intention of what you want after leaving this event. I want you to get real. Because either you have magical goals or you have intentional goals. And you get to decide which ones you got, okay? So every time that you go to send the message and you get a little scared, you say, I don't have magical goals. I'm here to help people. Because the thing is, guys, some of you are wearing it so hard on your shoulders. If they say no, it's okay. I love Rob said he got in trouble with me. Here's the thing. You'll never be in trouble with me, but I will push you when I see something in you that you're carrying on for yourself, right? So it was on like a Zoom with all the people. I did feel a little bad, and I was like, oh, no. I was like, that. But it's reality, right? And if I wouldn't have said that, then he would have stopped doing lives. You know, the next event I saw Rob at, he wasn't even talking to me. He was talking into a crowd, and he said, yeah, you guys gotta start doing lives. They work. Right? Because the difference between before that and then was he was getting on live and just expecting to show people to show up. He was inviting no one to show up or in a Zoom or whatever it might be. The reason I knew that is because it happened to me. I first got into Trinant with a big, come hell or high water goal. In fact, it was my family's livelihood on the line. I told you a little bit about my story yesterday, and we'd given up everything to start over. And if I didn't get back to where we need to be as quick as possible, ooh-wee, it was our family's livelihood. And so I was on fire. I hesitate to say this because but I'm gonna say it. I don't want to scare you about this because some of you, okay, I'm just gonna say it and then we're gonna go off that. I was inviting all day long, in Messenger, all day long, presenting every single night for a minimum of 60 days.
How bad do you want it?
And I say that I don't want to scare you because some of you, you're not ready for that yet, and that's okay. I had lots of experience and I was ready because I needed to have massive results. Some of you, it's just inviting one person a day because you didn't invite anyone last week. So let's just start with one, right? Some of you were like, no, I have to get to this position by this time, da-da-da. Okay, well then we got to speed it up. Here's what I know. I know that if you're in a jet plane and you pull the throttle back halfway, you're never getting off the ground.
That's right.
You gotta pull full throttle to take off, okay? So I was doing that, and I got comfortable. I got to where we could breathe, not have to worry about finances or things like that. I had leaders in, we were moving and grooving. I was still presenting. I said, you bring them, I'm gonna present to them. Let's go. So then I did a test on myself. And I didn't announce my presentation to the team. And I got on that Zoom that night. No one showed up. Because I didn't invite them. Not the team. For me to grow, my own prospects, because that was the test. The test was, I was doing all these presentations, and I felt, I think it's just like the team showing up, you know? And so then, that's why I didn't invite the team. I was gonna see who showed up because of me. And in my personal group, I posted the flyer. I didn't personally invite anyone, I just threw the flyer up in my opportunity group, seeing who would show up. Not a dang one. And when that happened, I said, never again. Never again. So when Rob was telling me that no one was showing up, I said, I know your problem. Because it was me. The reality is, you guys, the proof is in the pudding, but it's also in the results. I think about it a lot as far as like, when I've been on diets my whole life, right? I'm this person. But people who want to lose weight, and I was about to say they would say, I would say, I'm doing everything I can, doing all the right things you tell me to do. Trainer, I'm eating the way you're telling me to eat, trainer. But I wasn't getting the results. Because you're eating cake in the closet. Right? Like, if no one sees that I'm not doing the work, they'll never know. The results are in the work. So I'm going to tell you guys right now, you have two choices. To go out and maximize this opportunity, unlike you've ever done before, or squander it. Most of you in this room gave up something to be here. I know one of the speakers said, for some of you, your finances it didn't even make sense for you to be here, but you made it, right? Before I went big in network marketing, I made a commitment to be at an event. I paid thousands of dollars to be there, and I showed up, and I missed my son's first swimming lesson. My first son's first swimming lesson. I can never get that moment back. But in that sacrifice, I knew I could not leave that event and continue to do what I had been doing before I got there.
That's right.
Woo!
Or else it was all for nothing.
That's right.
That's right.
Yes.
Whatever you gave up to be here today, every day that it gets hard, because it will, every day that you feel let down, because you will, every day that you feel too tired, because you will, every day that you feel like everyone's a no, because you will, I want you to remember what you gave up and understand that you cannot sit in these seats giving up what you have given up. Maybe it's financially, maybe it's a moment, and make it all for nothing. You have the power to build the largest business, change more lives than you've ever changed in your life, have a hand in a ripple effect that you don't even understand, because I still even don't. Your moment is now. But if you don't go, get into massive action. Not just, we'll see how it goes for a few weeks. If you don't get into massive action as quickly as humanly possible, you've squandered it. So I want you to leave here, I want you to get on a video, I want you to record yourself for yourself with the excitement. You must have energy, or else you might as well just go on and do something new, right? With your energy, with your fire, with your takeaways. I want you to be on fire for yourself in that video. And every time it gets hard, I want you to play it. And I want you to remind yourself in that video what the heck you gave up today. And every time it gets hard, remember the people who walked across the stage and the vision of you doing it. Because listen, everyone in this room, you did something a lot of people didn't.
That's right.
You showed up.
That's right.
So don't stop now. Thank you guys. I love you. Go get it.
And now, please welcome to the stage your